Hello and welcome to Nightcap. Oh wait, damn it.
And that's how we begin.
Hi, and welcome to Nightcap, the bi-weekly web show consisting of two friends unwinding with the topics that make us hot. My name is Richard Pucci, and this is our amazing show, and I have my amazing co-host, Joy. I'm a real live streamer, Nickens. How are you?
I'm doing pretty well, still alive, thank God. How are you doing, Mr. Pucci?
I'm doing pretty well. I have my Coke and my rum and Coke.
Your Coke and Coke, your Coke and alcohol, your Coke and heroin. Oh, Chris is here. He goes like, woo! He goes,
yay, Chris! I was literally just thinking about Chris. I'm like, I haven't seen him on in forever, and he typically likes to listen to us when he raids stuff because he is the #1 healer of his
Dungeons and Dragons.
No, not Dungeons and Dragons. His server. He was like the #1 in his server, and that I think is a pretty big deal. So, woo, excellent.
He says, "LMAO, stop."
No,
go ahead.
You know you're good if you can say you're the #1 healer of your server.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see. So right now, before we start the meat and potatoes, I'm looking a little like Casper. There we go. Okay. All right. Now that I've fixed my face, before we get to the meat and potatoes of this broadcast, we're gonna offer question time to you. So if there's anything you would like to know about Joy or me, feel free to type it in that little keyboard section of the chat. Say like, oh, what's your favorite color, or do you like broccoli? And yes, I do. That was fun. All right, so let's see, Miss Joy, how is your life going as of right now?
So far so good. Entering December, but I say I've had a couple moments of fun over the past 2 weeks while we've been.
Oh my gosh, what has been going on?
Okay, so thanks to the boo over here chilling and just on a roll of just taking me places. Finally got to go to the Museum of Sex, which was a surprise. That was fun. Like, that was very, very nice. I expected something completely different, but it was a learning experience of like animals and people and like theories and kinks and history of it's not just a whole bunch of people having sex on the wall. It's
no.
It was very educational, and I'm happy that we were able to go. Also, another educational museum was let me just read it so people can get it and get the and then I moved it. The pamphlet. Oh no. I feel like there's a pamphlet here. It was a pamphlet from this other museum. Bam. Okay. Thank you. The Leslie Lohman Museum of Gay and Lesbian Art. Boom. Okay. Says Friends with Benefits. I don't know if you could, bam, Friends with Benefits.
Nice.
This one was a really nice educational museum. It was covering one person's art. Oh my. And they had a lot of magazines. And this is one of them. I don't know if I can show this one, but
oh yeah, it's educational purposes. It's art.
This is some of the stuff.
Oh yeah, that's art. You could show that.
Oh yeah, this is some crazy art right here. It's a crazy good art, and Now there was this other museum that I've had two different experiences at. It's called the New Museum. And the first time I went to this museum, we went up to the highest floor, and there
Uh-huh.
just so happened to have been a voguing workshop. So I participated in this. Yeah, like it was
Uh-huh. What?
craziness. And
Yeah.
then I have video footage of that, so later we maybe watch that.
Oh, like you have to.
I tried voguing, and then the second time I went, was actually going through the different exhibits, and I didn't understand anything that was happening in this museum. I've been to a lot of museums, and I just did not understand how any of it was art. But to each his own. Uh, so there's that one. And then recently we went to the Intrepid. The Intrepid was very nice. It was cold. There was lots of ships.
Oh.
I mean, lots of planes. And the last thing was we saw orchestra. A nice
Yay.
full orchestra, which made me want to download Johann Sebastian Bach music. It's very nice.
Yeah.
How about
Rocking
you?
out to Bach.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Um, let's see. So, on the front, as far as like new things that I've done, I actually went to an escape room in Red Bank, New Jersey.
Hometown AAE.
Right? I knew you were gonna do that.
Of course.
Uh, um, so the escape room was themed after like children dealing with the boogeyman.
Oh.
So, and I was petrified because I don't like scary things at all. And so the escape room was boogeyman themed rooms. So we saw a short video about how four children were taken from their family's home, and how the boogeyman had these totems, and that's how he sucks out the power from them.
Yeah.
And so we started out in there were two groups starting out in different children's rooms. And my group, I'd like to think that I was a really big helper, because like the moment that I like saw things like we went into a room, and there was a dresser, and there was a bed, and there was like some stuff and some balloons on the ground, and immediately we walked into the room, and I like just started popping the balloons, and I found a clue, because I'm like,
Oh.
what else are you supposed to do? There are like balloons on the ground,
You smart.
right? Because I feel like most people would be like, oh, like that's weird, and just throw them over to the side. But I was like, no, like literally the second that I walked in, I was like, like ripping open balloons. So that was a lot of fun. We made it out. We had 4 minutes and 23. The funniest thing was there, the second room that we went to, there was actually in the second room that we went to, there was like a bed, and underneath it you could get into the other side, and it was hysterical because after we got like the totem of the second room and we were like joined together, all of a sudden I was like, oh, we need all four things to get to the next part of this, because it's like you need the totems to like be rid of the boogeyman. And they were like, oh no, we're not supposed to take stuff out of the rooms. And then like on the intercom you just hear, you need the things. So they mildly sort of help, but it's hysterical too, because like the people that I went with was for a bachelor party.
Mm.
And it was hysterical because like in the back of my so like they were like, oh man, I'm like one person, the one person was like claustrophobic, and I was like, no, you gotta go. So it's funny because like people are like crawling out, but they're like taking a little bit of time, and I was the last one, and I went in like army style. I was like, ah! I was like, because like in the back of my mind, I'm like, we gotta like hurry up, we're being timed. So that was a lot of I don't know, when it comes to stuff like that, I'm like I didn't want to fail. And at that point when we went in, they only had a 30% rate of success, so the fact that we made it is actually pretty good.
Wow.
Yeah, and I've just been working out a lot. So on I did a half marathon.
When did you
So I
do
did
that?
on Sunday. I did it on a treadmill.
Oh wow, my
I
gosh.
did 13.12 miles, and like my ankles started to. It's funny. I was fine up until the last mile. Then I was like, oh, my calf is starting to hurt. But when you have one more mile to go, like I wasn't gonna stop.
Exactly. You might as well just push it out.
Excellent, excellent. Any viewer responses?
Chris said he was the number one, LOL. And
Mm.
Ronnie just popped up and said, "Hey." So he
Hey, Rodney.
what it do?
What? As always, you can write down a question for our new viewer question minute time.
Y'all should have
I don't
questions
know.
about us by now.
I know. Rodney is like Rodney's got to like think of like some hard crap. TV wise, how are you doing TV wise these days?
TV wise, I wish I was watching more things, but I haven't really watched a lot of things.
Mm.
Unfortunately, like I'm not up to my TV watching standards because I have a social life now.
I was gonna say you have a life now. Like
Yeah,
you watched all the shows. Like you would like spout off things about shows for like 30 minutes, and I'd be like,
yeah. Now I'm like, I think I watched the show, an episode. So the only TV show that I am excited to watch, and heaven help me, I didn't want to do this, but finally activated the free Netflix and started watching Stranger Things.
woo, yes, Joy is finally Netflixing and chilling.
Finally, I never knew. So as soon as we activated the Netflix, then we started finding all of the shows to watch. So watched episode 1 of Stranger Things, and I'm like, dang it, I really want to watch this now. Like, I want to see what happens. So that's been, I guess, the surrounding show that I've been kind of like wanting to see so far. But I do want to catch up with everything else, like iZombie and How to Get Away with Murder and Supergirl and all these shows I just stopped watching.
Do you know when I started to catch up on all of my shows?
When
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 I
you
started to run on the treadmill.
see,
Yeah. Yeah. Just because I wasn't doing it before. It was
but
just
now
my
you're like watching and working out.
yeah. If it's funny, I'm one of those people. If I'm not watching something while I'm treadmilling, I just won't do it.
No, that's fine. That's fine. I tend to listen to all my podcasts while I'm driving now. I try to do it like if I have free time, like if I'm washing dishes or something, or if it's quiet, I'm not doing nothing. But usually I just like listen to it in the car because it's
Mm,
just me on the go.
yeah.
I got you.
That's kind of like when specific people at work are there. I'll have my headset for like the drive through on, except for I won't have it on, and I'll have my AirPod in, and I'll just be
Ooh.
listening to podcasts. Oh yeah. I'm like, screw that. I'm walking around cleaning up the store. I don't need to listen to yeah, I have a caramel macchiato. Shut up. I'm listening to podcasts.
I'm listening to important people talk. Shut up.
Right?
What about
And
you?
then
What have you been watching?
TV wise, I actually caught up on a lot of stuff. All right. So I just started season 8 of Shameless.
Wow.
And this season actually is a lot better than the past like 3 seasons. I feel like they really got back into the swing of things, what people actually liked about the show. For a while, they sort of veered off course. So I feel like if you wanted to like watch Shameless, I would say that you could go from like season 4 to like season 8, no problem, and not need to know much of the backstory. Just like read a synopsis on Wiki. Um, the season finale of You're the Worst aired last week, and it was so good. And my favorite quote from that entire episode, and it was a really good season finale.
Mhm.
One of the characters, she like helped a whole bunch of people, and she's kind of dumb, and she's like, I'm a helper, like that glove that makes hamburger.
Oh Jesus.
Yeah, Lindsay is not necessarily the smartest cookie, but she's got a good heart,
She tried.
a goodish heart. I don't know. All the characters in that show are terrible people. If you're not watching You're the Worst, you should. Rodney, Chris, watch You're the Worst. It's really good. And then I have a new best show you're not watching, which I think I've mentioned it before,
Mm.
but season 2 just came up. And if you have Apple TV or anything like that, TBS is really good about making sure their content is being able to that you're easily able to access their content.
Mm.
So the TBS show Search Party season 2 just came out. Season 1 revolved around a group of 4 people, 4 millennials looking for a girl that very easy bite-sized chunks, only 20-minute episodes, so that's not bad. Half an hour shows are much easier to digest in my mind. And then season 2, there was a complication that happened at the season finale of season 1. And I think the entire series or the entire season is going to be revolving around how they deal with what happened the last episode of season 1. So I'm not
Mm.
going to give too much away just because it's a little bit in noir. You know, it's a little bit of a mystery. But Joy, if you watch that show, I would gladly talk about it on air. It's that it really is that good.
Because you
Uh,
because you got cut off when you were saying that Search Party was for millennials that did what?
they're looking for a girl. There's a girl, Chantel Wickerbottom, are the main character, Dory. She went to college with this girl. She didn't really know her or anything, but the girl went missing. And for some reason, Dory has this will and this want to find this girl, this missing girl. I think in the back of her mind, she's thinking, like, that could have been me. She might want, you know, might approval from people. She might want to like sound like a saint, but she has this want and this will to find this missing girl.
Hmm.
So it's about her trying to like deduce where this girl is at, or if she's still alive. And her boyfriend, her gay best friend, and her female friend are all sort of like roped into it because of Dory.
Mm.
And then in the season finale of season 1, something really bad happens. And all of season 2 is going to be about how they deal with what happened in season 1. And it's a bite-sized half an hour show, so you could
It'd be
catch
cool.
up quickly.
That reminds me. It kind of reminds me of How to Get Away with Murder,
Maybe.
the first season, where there's a girl. I mean, not to be the one to sound racist. Is this girl white? The one
Um,
missing.
yes, she is white.
Okay, because with How to Get Away with Murder, the same thing. The girl goes missing, and they're trying to figure out where the chick is. And then the last episode of season 1 is we find out what happens to her. But then season 2 picks up where it's like, all right, so what do we do now
Yeah.
that this happened? How are we fixing this? So I'm like, I definitely am interested in this Search Party.
But the thing about it is, though, is that you're not dealing with How to Get Away with Murder. You're dealing with like like seasoned adults. Like these
Mm.
are all millennials.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Well, yeah.
these these are millennials. Like they're not handling it like anybody else.
Mm.
You know, so it's crazy. So yeah, so that's what's on the TV spot. Oh
Um.
wait, and I've been watching Leah Remini's Scientology, but that's a whole other spiel.
Yeah, I was like, I don't even know what that is.
It's good. She uncovers what happens in Scientology, and it's like crazy. Like you can't even like
Oh, Leah the lady from King.
Remini. Yes, yes,
Oh yeah.
yes. She quit Scientology, and she's exposing stories like where like these people were forced to have abortions, where they have the Sea Org members who are like they're like forced to like be in these like terrible conditions. If they're like bad, they're rehabilitation centers, except for everything's got a specific term. Like it's the weirdest, and it's the sort of stuff that like you wouldn't, it's like kind of like unbelievable,
But it's real.
but like yeah, it's like actually real. um that's a really, that's, I feel like that's like, you know how old people love like forensic files.
Yeah.
I feel like that's like my forensic files. It's like the thing that I'm like, oh, it's like the thing that, because I can't watch people getting murdered, but like I can like watch like people escaping a cult. Like I'm like, yeah.
No,
So
I
yeah.
trust her because it's not like she just came out of nowhere and was like, I was in Scientology and now I'm out and I'm going to expose them. It was like, this religion is terrible and this is why I am going through so much and so many years have been telling people about how crazy this is and no one seems to believe me because Scientology has been a religion that other celebrities do and they don't talk about it. But here it is exposing. So what?
Okay, one more side tangent. And the
Yeah.
thing about it is too is that the moment that somebody um goes up on the show or even talks badly about them, they get hate websites, and like they were able, you know, Leah Remini has, you know, 500 hate websites against her. You know, the chick that told her story in season 1 episode 1, she's got 50 hate websites, you know, denouncing them as people, which is just like the time and money and the resources, like really.
Of course. If people got
Hmm.
time to hate, they got money to hate too.
Oh, and you know it's the okay, so by the time you spend your $1 million, your 300,000 to $500,000 to 750,000 to like reach like the 8th level. Do you
Jesus.
know what you find out? Do you know what happens?
What happens?
They tell you that you're cleared of all the stuff of the previous levels. So basically, none of it existed. Like it's like boom.
What?
It's yes. So basically they're creating this like system where like you need to do things and these things are living on you, and then you need to clear them, and then you need to do all this stuff, and then once you hit the 8th level, it's like, "Oh, you're back to where you were before you even walked in the center."
That's insane. And people are stupid. What?
Yes, basically you just hit the reset button.
No,
Yeah.
that's a bad
Yeah.
video game.
Yeah.
Oh no.
No. Yeah. Yeah.
That's mm-mm. Mm-mm. I feel like, oh, the last time I did watched anything on cults, it was a BuzzFeed video, but this one dude was talking about how he was involved in a sex cult, and for him to talk about a sex cult, he didn't seem like he was damaged in a way, but he was just like, I had to pay money to like do stuff, like to be in the area that everybody else was, and I had to like pleasure women, and then I had to pay them. I had to pay the cult to, I guess essentially the same thing, like be cleared of debt, or I guess to be there. And he was like, I was spending like $10,000 and I was 22 at the time. And I'm like, what? Do you hear yourself when you talk? Like that doesn't even make sense. How did you
That
drop out of college to be in a sex cult, to touch women's vulvas, and then you're paying them to do that? Like it just seemed. And then he was just like, I just got tired one day and I left. Meanwhile, the white girl over here was like, I managed to get out of rape and family excommunication, and no one loves me.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I was just like, I feel so bad for these people.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep.
Oh my
Yep.
God. Um,
All right. Before we have hate websites against us, any viewer topics?
yes, so sorry. Ronnie said that he I'm just getting over a severe cold. So
No.
we didn't know you were sick, man. We could have sent you some drugs.
Yeah.
Get you some
We could,
Theraflu, some
heroin.
heroin, get you some coke. So I've been trying to get more eggnog. Everyone needs to have more eggnog in their life. So send you some
Except for
eggnog.
me.
Oh, I'll take your share and drink it. He said
Southern
that.
Comfort.
Oh, word. Either that or Hood or Turkey Hill or there's just so many. Wawa, so many. Ronnie said that The Punisher is great. So that is a show I put on my list to watch. Of course, with like Daredevil and Luke Cage and Jessica Jones, and there was one other one that came out, what, The Defenders or something? Not really,
The Defenders, and then also like the Asian one, the Kung Fu guy.
not even trying to watch that one. Um, uh, Iron Fist,
Yeah.
Immortal Iron Fist. No, the way that
Yeah.
I've seen that show get dragged on Twitter, I was like, nah, I guess I don't need to watch it. Like, I just, it just
Yeah.
seems
A lot of
useless.
hate. A lot of hate.
A lot of hate. So I'm just like, meh. He asked, "How do you like Stranger Things?" Um, I liked how it got me sucked in because I really didn't want to get sucked in, but these kids are so damn cute that I watch them in interviews and don't know what the hell they're saying. Like I don't know what because I don't know what the show's about. So they go on all, and I love watching interviews. Fun fact about me: I like watching people talk about themselves on TV programs and their show. So I see the kids go on, like Ellen and Jimmy Fallon and Jimmy Kimmel and all these shows, and I just like I don't know what the show's about. I just think they're cute. So now the show I think is gonna be really good. Um, and about finding this boy who disappeared, and then this girl 11, and then these other cute nerdy ass boys. Like I just think it's gonna be cute. Uh, Ronnie wants to know what is "You Are the Worst."
You're the Worst is basically it's a romantic comedy gone wrong.
Hmm.
It is a show about these terrible people that are in a relationship with each other. When they meet each other at a wedding. Um, it's the gentleman out of the male and the female from the romantic comedy aspect. The gentleman was the ex of the bride, and the girl, female romantic lead, she is like best friends with the sister of the bride. And so like the night that they meet, Jimmy goes up and he tells a speech about how he's hit it before and how he's happy that he's here today. That way he can say, I was there the day that the ship sank. And he gives this like huge speech and he gets kicked out of the wedding. And outside, the romantic lead died smoking a cigarette, and they're talking to each other, and she had stolen a gift from the she had stolen a getting, and she was hoping to get a Vitamixer, but it wasn't.
So she
So it
stole because you broke up. She stole what?
she stole a gift from the wedding.
Oh,
like
okay.
sh so like they're terrible people, and they just happen to hit it off, and it's about their like Jimmy's an alcoholic. She's also like loves the drink.
Mm.
Her dopey best friend is there, as well as his lovable, you know, you know, ex vet, his vet, friend that came back from Iraq and is now currently done with his heroin addiction. Like they're just terrible people, but the humor is so funny and it's so crass
Mm.
that I don't know, it's just not what you would expect from a romantic comedy at all. It's everything that I think everybody wanted Trainwreck to be,
Train wreck.
like Amy Schumer in Trainwreck, where it's like, oh, this isn't just a regular rom-com, but it was, and this is just terrible people together, and it's funny. It's funny to see how interesting things could be. So that's You're the Worst in a nutshell.
I could say we've seen that movie because I hadn't seen Trainwreck for the longest time, and now like, oh yeah, I did watch that movie. Okay.
Right? But that was like, oh, it's not a regular rom-com, but it actually was.
Oh. Yeah, I've never. I feel like I've heard of it, but not enough to sit down and watch it. So I will definitely go look it up now. Like I'll look, well, not like right this second, but I'll look it up
Yeah.
to put it on. Probably put it on my list. Um,
Yes. I'm telling you, try You're the Worst.
try it.
It's really funny. Yeah. Just try, guys, just try one episode.
Right, that's what they all say, and then you get sucked, and you're just like, I need to know what happened. Like one episode.
They're only 12 episode seasons, so it's not like it's
Oh, okay, that's not bad.
yeah.
That's not a lot compared to like all the other dramas that are like 20, 30, 40 episodes.
Yes, which I think that's going away.
Because people like we need more. It's like the ratio of consumption per hour. Like we want to be able to, like you said earlier, like watch things in a shorter time to like, you know, get on with it. I don't need to sit here for an hour versus a show I can bang it out in like an hour.
Yeah.
I could
No.
watch like 3 episodes from one show versus sitting here and watch an episode, a 45 to an hour minute episode, and that's my whole day gone.
Yes.
So I gotcha.
Ah.
Ronnie said it's crazy how many stars are in Scientology. That is so ridiculous. From what we were saying. He said, let's create a religion and get some money. LOL. Word. My friend Troy was on that too. We should like make a religion. Ronnie said, got that eggnog in the fridge. Haha. Southern Comfort. Word. I definitely, when I get some monies, I'm going to get that Southern Comfort. Chris said, Iron Fist had some good lore regarding the hand. But other than that, it was terrible. Ronnie said because it was long R's. Ronnie said the Defenders was pretty lackluster too. Chris said only because of the Iron Fist. LOL. Ronnie said nah, haha, more than that. And then Chris said, on the branch of terrible people, The Good Place is a really good show. And then, so I'm going to look up what The Good Place is about because I haven't heard of that. Ronnie said, I think everyone should watch Broad City. And then he said, that's hilarious.
I agree with the Broad City. I haven't watched the upcoming season, or they might have started it. I know that they started it late because of the election.
Oh.
Yeah, because they were going one way and then it didn't happen. Yeah. Broad City, I would say yes to Broad City, and then Kristen Bell is in The Good Place. And that's like that's like heaven.
He just popped it out. He was like, The Good Place is about this girl played by Kristen Bell. She dies. I think I saw the preview for this, and I like Kristen Bell.
She's funny. Guess what I did?
Did you look it up? What did you do?
No. Game wise, I played D&D for the first time, and it was fun.
Where did you play it though?
I played it with my friend Opal and Jay. They're a married couple. And right, you're like, Opal and Jay and Jay's work wife, Jamie, and her boyfriend Rob, who was the DM, and Mark, and our big boss is actual cannibal Shia LaBeouf. That's our boss.
That's who you work for?
No. That's who we need to beat. Have you ever heard the Shia LaBeouf song?
The Just Do It song?
the Shia LaBeouf song
No, I only
where
know
he's an where he's a cannibal.
no. I only know the one where he's like, "Just do it."
No, it's a song about Shia LaBeouf who's a cannibal and eats people, and like he's our bad guy
Why is he eating people?
because he's an actual cannibal, Shia LaBeouf. Yeah,
You.
there's a song like it's like a song,
Okay.
and apparently it's now in common practice for D&D games to actually use him as a bad guy. So he's
Oh.
our big boss, and we had a nice battle against him, and I was playing as a rogue,
Hmm.
as a half elven rogue named Prettyana. Prettyana.
Pretty Anna.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Um, so yeah, it's a lot of fun, and I enjoyed my gaming experience. Um, if I were to, I didn't pick her. She is somebody that they rescued in a previous game.
Mhm.
They have a couple of characters that if people want to drop in, they can play as. But if my schedule allows for it, I would definitely would drop in as Pretty Anna again. I like her.
I
She's a
have not.
she's huh?
I haven't played D&D with the friends that I was supposed to be playing D&D with because again I have a social life now. But
Yeah.
did I showed you the picture of what my character like what I looked like, right? Okay, good.
Yes. Yeah. I think 2 episodes ago.
Okay, good. I wanted to make sure because I'm like, oh man, I would have loved to have built this character more, but I don't even get a chance to. They don't even call me at this point because I'm just not available. Like,
Yeah.
I feel so bad. But I'm happy because and then one of my other friends, he sent me videos of and I think I would love to send it to you too, of Dungeons and Dragons, but the gangsta edition. I loved every part of that video saga. So I would love to send that to you.
You know what? I would love to check it out. And and also one of these days I would love to I feel like Chris, because he's all into like the World of Warcraft, I would love for him to like make up a thing because I really want to play Misspent Youth, and it's free online, and we could
Hmm. I would love to.
Google Hangouts on air it and like play a game for like an hour or two, and just Rodney, we could have a Rodney or Rodney Ting, just have like a bunch of people, and have this little story, because Misspent Youth in a certain period of time, like you can tell it as a like a solo experience, one
Miss,
gameplay mechanic.
misspent youth. How do you spell it?
Yeah. MISSPENTYOUTH, and you can find it online. And I would love to do it. And the thing about it is that you actually end up creating the campaign yourself, and there's no like stat sheets or anything. So that's the thing that I like, or like there's stat sheets, except for you're not like figuring out numbers. It has to do with like luck
Okay, yeah, I would love for us to.
as to whether something or not is successful, and then you create the terms of the game, like pre-game, all together as a group.
I would love to do that with you guys. If you guys want to do that, please hit us up because I would
Yeah,
love to play games with you guys.
no, definitely. And it's one of those things that you know we could spend an hour or so, or like probably an hour for setup and an hour for gameplay. um
Mhm.
and it could be a solo experience, and we could do that a couple of times, and then if we have a group or a scenario that we really enjoy, we could continue on with that story. But that's something I personally would like to do. um and then movie wise, have you watched anything good on Netflix?
Yes. Since we started this trial, there was one movie that stood out, and it's called Okja. If any of you guys have ever heard of it or saw it on the internet, um, it's a Korean film, but it has American aspects all over it. It's the same director who did Old Boy and recently The Handmaiden, and I think I don't like scary movies, but the way that this particular director goes about doing movies, I find very fascinating. So, not to give the whole story away, but Okja was about it's about this manufactured super pig that America. Yeah, I know it starts off really odd, but um what's her name? Tilda Swinton? Tilda Swinton?
Tilda, yeah.
Okay, she is an odd looking woman, but she's in it. And I already like just got over her in Doctor Strange. So I was like, oh, okay, I never have to see this woman again. And then boom, there's two of her in this movie. So it's about a super pig, and it's the super pig gets sent to different parts of the world. They make a bunch of these pigs for human consumption in years to come. And it's the story of this one particular pig who was sent to Korea and gets raised by this girl. And then some stuff happens when America, let's say America, comes to collect the pigs. And this one little girl was like, "Oh hell no! Like you are not taking my pig." And there's this whole journey, and I enjoyed it way more than I thought I was gonna enjoy it. I thought it was gonna be ass. Like I thought it was gonna be terrible, but I still wanted to watch it. But I really enjoyed it. It was it taught me. It was kind of like you get a lesson through. I'm trying to think of how to say this. It wasn't a documentary. It was like a mockumentary.
Okay.
But kind of like giving you that nudge, like, look, America does this already with meat consumption. America does this, but we're putting it in a funny scenario where you can grasp it as a concept, but this is actually a thing that happens where America, we have all of this meat and we're trying to grow all of this stuff, and we put chemicals in the chicken and the turkey, and are you really eating?
Yeah.
And is this stuff real? Is it healthy? So in one sense, it's like America.
Oh no, I was just about to say um we've been doing that since as far as cross pollination.
You broke up. You're saying?
Oh no, we've been doing this as a whole since agriculture was a thing. It's for the best of the best. It's just different now when it comes to meat, but yeah, for the most part, we've been doing this for a really long time.
Mm-hmm. So it's just a matter of putting that on Front Street, but one sense you can be like, oh man, America's like the way that they America, and I say America, I'm not saying the actual country, the actual nation of America, but they have all the right reasons that they're doing it. But on the other side, you're like, but it's wrong. Like, so you can kind of feel for why they're doing it, but then again, you're like, no. Oh, did you ever see Kingsman 2?
No.
Okay, it's almost like the same concept where the bad guy isn't really the bad guy when it comes to their views.
Okay.
They think they're doing the right thing. They think they're trying to save the world, but in actuality, when you are on the other side of their plans, it's like, no, you're really gonna mess everything up, but you think you're saving us, and they really have all the greatest intentions, but they end up being a villain. And that these are a lot of the movies that I'm watching that are having that as a background, like as a plot, I should say. Ronnie just said that people keep saying I should watch What the Health on Netflix. I did. Did you see it?
I have never seen that.
I watched it as a recommendation from one of my friends at this point. I'm trying to think of who told me to. But that I liked that documentary, and it was about meat and eating meat and consuming meat, and is it healthy for you, and all of these I don't want to sound like one of those people, like a conspiracy person, but it was all of these organizations like the National Heart Association and the Diabetes Association and Susan G. Coleman, the breast
Mhm.
cancer, all of these national organizations collect money from us and the government to fund research and provide meals on their website and give you all of these tips to live a better life and make better food and have better diets and all this other stuff. But in actuality, when one dude goes and calls these organizations and he's like, well, why do you, if this particular plan is on your website, so let's say, for if you don't want to have high cholesterol, I'm not a doctor, but if you don't want to have high cholesterol, you should eat this and this and this and this. But
Mhm.
meat is a part of that plan. But meat, the
Meat
way that
isn't necessary.
it's not necessary. So when he goes and calls them and he asks them these questions, they're like, we don't have an answer for you. And they hang up and they avoid him and they don't take his interviews.
Oh yeah.
So that inspired me to not eat meat. And I did it. I was doing well for 2 weeks in October. And then I fell off like during the weekend. It was a very important weekend. And then I tried to do it again. So now 2018, I'm just not gonna eat meat. Like I'm really I'm gonna ride out this year, and then 2018, I'm just gonna like really stick to it. So
Good for you.
thanks. It's those 2 weeks made me feel better as a person in terms of like going consistently, like to the bathroom. I didn't feel as heavy or tired. I felt like if I actually did more exercise, excuse me, if I did more exercising, I feel like I would also lose some weight because I feel like I'm way heavier than I really should be.
Okay.
And I feel like that's attributed to me constantly eating meat and then obviously not working out. I'm
Yeah.
just kind of sitting in a car, sitting at a desk, running around. So I'm gonna really try to see the change if I could at least incorporate some exercise, not eat meat, still eat like grains. Like I love rice and beans and the stuff like that, but just not eat meat. Like not fish either.
You're like, no, I'm done. I'm done with meat.
I'm kind of at this point of my life in our lives, we're getting older, and if this is something that could help us in the long run, we're young. Like we are essentially fetuses, like compared to like my dad, who's going on almost 60, mom's late 50s. Like if I can change it now before I'm 30, I could at least try, right? So
You got
and you're
this.
exercising,
Huh?
so we're trying our best.
I am. I'm trying. I'm trying. It's terrible.
I'm
I
trying to do
hate it. I hate it. Huh?
I'm trying to do some DDR. Like if I can do DDR and like do some jogging and sit ups, because my stomach is a little more bloated than it needs to be, but I want to look good and
You
feel.
got this, Joy. I know you have it. Do we have any wonderful listener comments about any of our previous topics?
So I'm just gonna go back because this was like the bulk of what they were saying as we were talking.
Okay.
Chris, after he talked about The Good Place, he was saying Kristen Bell dies and goes to the good place. Turns out she was a horrible person and they took the wrong woman up to heaven. Damn. It's so funny and so good. I can't say. Oh, so I will check out The Good Place because I think that'd be funny. He said, I can't say I ever used him in my campaign. Haha. So I guess whatever the rogue character that you were describing. Ronnie said that he finished Battle Chasers.
Oh no, he was talking. He was talking about he was talking about Shia LaBeouf, real cannibal
Oh,
Shia LaBeouf.
oh, okay, the cannibal Shia LaBeouf. Yeah, I would never want to use that dude in my campaign, but um, I gotta look that up too. Like cannibal Shia LaBeouf. Like,
Yeah, you can listen to the song.
oh yeah, I'll YouTube it. Ronnie said he spent 114 hours in Battle Chasers, which God bless you. um,
Props.
Chris wasn't sure about. He was like misspent use. Like at the time when I asked you to spell it, because I wasn't
Yeah.
sure he spelled it the way that it was spelled correctly. Then Ronnie said, "Oh, I guess this is about Okja. I haven't seen that yet. I want to see it." And then, what the hell? And then he said, "I need my meat. Haha. You should get the DDR panels." So, I'm also a person that definitely loves meat. I love my meat. I consume it very heavenly. However, I'm gonna I'm gonna do my best to stop, and I feel like I've projected that out loud and said it, and I've done that with my friends and some
Yeah.
family, and they were proud of me, and they were more inspired to want to try it too.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to say I'm a vegetarian now or I'm pescatarian or whatever the hell. I was just like, I'm just not eating meat right now, and
Yeah.
you know,
Well, like you could do like the oval whatever, the ones that don't the ones that, don't eat meat, but they'll still have, fish or chicken.
but I don't
Like
want
not
to.
chicken. I don't mean chicken, I
Oh,
mean like eggs.
oh yeah, yeah, oh yeah, yeah.
Because
Go ahead.
the eggs they weren't fertilized, so it doesn't count as life.
I also love the dairy. So like you said, the eggs. That's why I eat eggs all the time. But the milkshakes, the cheese, the yogurts, those kind of things. I love those things. So what helped the most though is having someone that helps you do this, because this stuff ain't. I have someone that is supportive in that choice, not to be like, oh, we can't ever do this again, or we can't ever do that again. You can't
Yeah.
eat, but someone who's like, okay, so what are you not having, and I can make this, and it's been overwhelmingly positive to have someone that is not like, oh, that's stupid, I'm gonna eat meat and then
Yeah.
eat all this stuff in front of you. So that's again,
Oh,
hella blessed, like honestly. So um
excellent.
oh, he said pork
Um
chops are his weakness. Those are also my weakness. I love anything that's shake and
mm,
bake. Oh,
right. See, if anything, then get like shake and bake, like soy, like
word.
tofu shake and bake.
Mm.
You could make anything taste good.
Yeah.
With shake and bake especially. I think this is a good point to state where you can find us online, and
Go first.
you can find me online at Chock Full of Moxie at Twitter, and Chock Full of Moxie on YouTube. Yeah, as well as Nightcap underscore show on Twitter. But I don't think anybody really uses Twitter. Well, not our viewers. I need to like hit us. I need to like whatever.
I'm
I'm
trying to
working on it.
consider more, honestly.
And then you are Joy Infinity at what?
At joyinfinity.com. Like I'm Joy Infinity on all of the social networks. I am trying to be on Twitter more often now. I reorganized all of my social medias, so my likes are my likes, my comments are my comments, pictures are pictures. Like I got it all, worked out. Real quick though, you didn't say any movies you watched.
Please. It's funny, game wise, I did more gaming than you, and you watched movies. So I feel like we even each other out.
Yeah, because I was like, did you say you watched any movies or no? So that's why I was like, oh, let me just ask. But okay.
No. Yeah. I didn't watch any movies. I am so happy that we got a nice Rodney and Chris night in.
Yes. It was deserved. Well worth it.
Awesome. Guys, we love you. And thanks for watching, as always.
Ooh, real quick though, I do want to watch Justice League. So if anyone's watched Justice League, like hit me up on my social medias if you can. Tell me if you liked it or not, y'all.
Woo! All right. Outro music. We love you.
Yes, thank you for hanging out with us late at night.
Right? You guys make this show fun.
Oh,
otherwise, it would just be us talking to each other. And you're drinking water.
Rodney, hit me up on social media. Find me on Twitter.
Don't be a stranger, guys.
Don't be a stranger. Find
danger.
us on Facebook. Like the Facebook. We read these messages.
It's like really bad aerobics.
Oh, word.
Oh, do the hand thing, Joy. Do that. Yeah, that's my favorite. Hand thing. Yeah. Bye, guys. We love you. Thank you.